Afternoon, everybody. I am Sir Jude, and here's our video lecture for our lesson this morning. So, last Friday, no, we added two more types of chemical reactions, and these are single replacement and double displacement, respectively. So, I ask you to match the definitions or equations in column A to their corresponding reactions in column B. Okay. So in number one, we have an equation a plus bx forming ax plus b. So you have a replacing b as the partner of x, therefore that's single replacement. For number two, we have ax plus by forming ay plus bx. So a's original partner is x, but at the product side, a is now partnered with y. B's original partner is Y, but on the product side, you have B now partnered with X. So you have changing partner, so double displacement. Number three, you have compounds exchanging ionic partners. So this is exchanging or swapping of partners, which is reminiscent of equation number two. So number three also pertains to double displacement. And for number four, you have one element replacing another element of a compound. This sentence um, is reminiscent of equation number one. So number four also pertains to single replacement. Okay. Next, I also ask you to determine and explain the type of each chemical equation. So for number five, we have the formation of sodium cadmium sulfide. CDS, and aqueous table salt NaCl from aqueous cadmium chloride CdCl2 and aqueous sodium sulfide Na2S. So number five is a manifestation of a double displacement reaction because not all reagents have partners and you have the metal CD and Na swapping their partners at the product side. So cadmium's original partner is chlorine, but on the product side it became sulfur. And for sodium, its original partner is sulfur, and now it's now partnered with chlorine at the product side. Okay. Now, for the sixth equation, you have the formation of titanium. Sorry, you have the formation of titanium 4 nitrate and silver. Sorry, aqueous titanium 4 nitrate and that's solid silver from solid titanium and aqueous silver nitrate. So you have titanium replacing silver as the partner of NO3. Therefore, for number six, the reaction is single replacement. Okay? So let's now proceed to our fifth and final type of reaction, and that calls for a word problem. So methane, CH4, irreversibly burns in diatomic oxygen gas, O2, releasing carbon dioxide, CO2 gas, and water vapor. Okay. So according to the problem, the reaction is considered irreversible. So we're going to use arrow to the right. And you have no catalyst, but you need the presence of the triangle symbol because methane is burned with diatomic oxygen. And speaking of methane and diatomic oxygen gas, they are the reactants in this equation. So you have gaseous methane and gaseous diatomic oxygen at the left side, and then you also have gaseous carbon dioxide and water vapor at the product side. Okay? So this one is not combination. This one is also not decomposition. Obviously not single replacement. and double displacement as well. So you have a new type of chemical reaction in which you have a hydrocarbon in the form of CX or HY. We're going to limit our hydrocarbons just strictly with hydrocarbons containing literally hydrogen and carbon atoms. Okay, we will disregard hydrocarbons containing oxygen for our sake. And it is burned with oxygen gas, forming gaseous carbon dioxide and gaseous water. So notice that out of the five types of chemical equation or reaction that we tackled so far, this one is the most specific because it has to classify these four requirements. So your hydrocarbon must burn with oxygen, and it must specifically release gaseous carbon dioxide and gaseous water vapor or water molecule. So what type of reaction is this? This one refers to combustion. And in combustion, when balancing combustion equations, you balance first carbon, followed by hydrogen, and then lastly, oxygen. Case for example, for methane, you have one carbon atom on the left side, and you have one carbon atom on the right side. So it's already balanced, no problem with that. For hydrogen, you have four hydrogen atoms on the left side and two hydrogen atoms on the right side. So for 2 to become 4, you have to multiply H2O by 2, balancing hydrogen in the process. For oxygen, it's a different story. So for carbon dioxide, you have two hydrogen atoms. And for water, you now have 2 times 1 equals 2 oxygen atoms. So when you add 2 and 2, that will give us 4 in total at the right side. And on the left side, you only have 2. So for 2 to become 4, you have to multiply O2 by 2. At this point, oxygen is now balanced. Therefore, the remaining coefficients for methane and carbon dioxide are 1. Okay, so this one is the easiest. This one is probably the easiest combustion equation to balance because it is the simplest. I mean, relied on the simplest alkane, which is methane. So what now is the effect if we have more than one carbon atoms, no? Okay, this one. Okay, so we have ethylene, which is smelled when fruit is ripened, and propane, which is also used for liquefied petroleum gases. Let's start with ethylene first. So notice, no, that in combustion equations, again, no, it must satisfy four criteria aside from the fact that you are using literal hydrocarbons. So first, you have the presence of burning of oxygen. First and second is you have the presence of hydrocarbon burning in oxygen. And then third, it must produce carbon dioxide gas. And then fourth, it must produce water vapor or gaseous water. And as I mentioned a while ago, when balancing combustion equations, you must follow CHO, no? When we say CHO, carbon first, followed by hydrogen, and then oxygen. So on the left side, you have two carbon atoms, and on the right side, you have one carbon atom. For one to become two, you have to multiply CO2 by 2. Okay? For hydrogen, you have four hydrogen atoms on the left side, and you only have two hydrogen atoms at the right side. So for 2 to become 4, we have to multiply H2O by 2. Now, for oxygen atoms, no? So let's start with carbon dioxide first. So 2 times 2, you have 4. And for water, you have 2 times 1, which is 2. So all in all, 4 plus 2 will give us 6. So we have a total of 6 oxygen atoms at the right side and only 2 oxygen atoms at the left side. So for 2 to become 6, you have to multiply O2 by 3. And when everything is balanced, the coefficient for ethylene or C2H4 is 1. Okay? Next, for propane, no? We just follow the same balancing technique. We start with carbon. There are 3 carbon atoms on the left side and 1 on the right side. So for 1 to become 3, we have to multiply CO2 by 3. Okay. Next, for hydrogen atoms, you have 8 hydrogen atoms on the left side, and you only have 2 hydrogen atoms at the right side. So for 2 to become 8, you have to multiply H2O by 4. Now, for oxygen, there are 3 times 2, 6 oxygen atoms with carbon dioxide, and 4 times 1 equals 4 oxygen atoms with water. So 6 plus 4, that will give us 10. And on the left side, you only have 2. So for 2 to become 10, you have to multiply O2 by 5. And when everything is balanced already, the coefficient for propane will be 1. Okay? So let's proceed to our seat work this morning. When I ask you to balance each chemical equation, no need to identify the type because we only tackled one type of equation today, which is combustion. Okay, so we will be burning toluene and styrene separately. But let's start with toluene first with the chemical formula of 7H8. So for toluene, you have 7 carbon atoms on the left side and you only have 1 carbon atom at the right side. For 1 to become 7, you have to multiply CO2 by 7. Okay. For hydrogen atoms, there are 8 hydrogen atoms at the left side and there are only 2 hydrogen atoms at the right side. So for 2 to become 8, you have to multiply water by 4. For oxygen, there is 7 times 2 equals 14 oxygen atoms at carbon dioxide. And you have 4 times 1 equals 4 oxygen atoms at water. So 14 plus 4, that will give us 18. And since you only have 2 oxygen atoms at the left side, so for 2 to become 18, you have to multiply oxygen by 9, leaving toluene with a coefficient of 1. Okay? So same technique will go to styrene as well with the chemical formula of C8H8. So you have 8 carbon atoms on the left side and only 1 at the right side. So for 1 to become 8, you have to multiply CO2 by 8. For hydrogen atoms, you have 8 hydrogen atoms on the left side and you only have 2 hydrogen atoms at the right side. So for 2 to become 8, you have to multiply H2O by 4. Now, for oxygen atoms, there are 8 times 2 equals 16 oxygen atoms at the left side. At carbon dioxide. And you have 4 times 1 equals 4 oxygen atoms with water. So 16 plus 4, that will give us a total of 20 oxygen atoms at the right side. And on the left side, you only have 2 oxygen atoms. So for 2 to become 20, you have to multiply oxygen by 10, leaving styrene with a coefficient of 1. Okay, and there you go. This is combustion reaction, no? So out of the 5 types of chemical reactions, combustion is the easiest to identify, not only because of the presence of the triangle, but also because of its specificity in its reagent requirements. So you have a hydrocarbon burning in oxygen, forming gaseous carbon dioxide and gaseous water. All right. So because this is the last lecture for types of chemical equations, no, we have our culminating lecture questions, no? So let's answer number one. What do we adjust when we balance chemical equations? So what we adjust is the number beside the reagents, and that number pertains to the coefficients. Okay? We uh never care about the catalysts. We never change the states of matter. And a big no-no is when you change the chemical formula of the reagents. Okay? Number two, why are catalysts not involved in balancing chemical equations? The answer here is letter D. That's because they're never consumed and get regenerated after the reaction. Only reagents that we care in balancing chemical equations are reactants because they disappear, and their products because they appear. Catalysts kasi are generated, therefore their number of moles remains or their quantity rather remains relatively unchanged. Okay? Number three, what are the specific products of combustion? So for combustion, you burn hydrocarbon with oxygen. Therefore, oxygen is a reactant. Kaya A and B are already automatically wrong. Okay? And naturally, the products of combustion are carbon dioxide and water, both in gaseous form. So the correct answer is letter B. Okay? Number four, which statement is correct about the chemical equation below? So you have 1 mole of aqueous sodium sulfide reacting with 1 mole of aqueous cadmium nitrate, forming 1 mole of solid cadmium sulfide and 2 moles of aqueous sodium nitrate. So letter A, it is a singular placement reaction. This one is incorrect because this one, the reaction is a double displacement one. So NA's original partner is S, but on the right side, it became NO3, while CD's original partner is NO3, and on the right side, it became S. Changing partners, swapping of partners, so double displacement. Letter B, a catalyst accelerates the reaction. So there are no catalysts present at the top of the arrow. So therefore, no catalyst accelerates the reaction, making the original statement for letter B also incorrect. Letter C, the reaction requires heat to push through. You don't see any triangle at all. So therefore, the reaction does not require heat to push through. Leaving D, the only correct statement, the reaction favors the formation of the products because as you can see, the arrow is pointing to the right where the products are located. Okay, next is number 5. Our final question for uh, the lecture. So, what numerical coefficients will balance the single replacement reaction of aqueous titanium 4 chloride TiCl4 and solid sodium Na to solid titanium Ti and aqueous sodium chloride NaCl before? So, out of all the elements mentioned here, only chlorine is considered unbalanced because you have 4 chlorine atoms on the left side and only 1 chlorine atom at the right side. So for 1 to become 4, you have to multiply NaCl by 4, balancing chlorine in the process. The element na nadamay na this time is sodium or Na. So now with NaCl, you have 4 times 1, so 4 sodium atoms. And on the left side, you have only 1 sodium atom. So for 1 to become 4, you have to multiply Na by 4. And for titanium, we don't have any problems with titanium because each side has 1 atom each. Therefore, the remaining coefficients for TiCl4 and Tr respectively are 1. Therefore, the correct answer is letter D, 1414. Okay? And with that, we're finished with the five types of chemical equations or reactions. So on the succeeding days, you will be having a lot of practice and performance tasks, which will be by group first and then individual, because I want you to mingle first with your friends in order to exchange and share insights and strategies on how to balance different types of chemical reactions or equations. And because we will be spending 2 to 3 weeks for this topic, no, I also want to challenge your critical thinking and problem solving skills. When I ask you to identify the type and balance the chemical equation, which you will undergo through drawlats. Okay, I will prepare numerous chemical equations. Okay, and it is your challenge to do what it's supposed to do and present them as well. Okay, and with that, uh, this is Sir Jude. Good afternoon and goodbye.